Hello everybody, it is Chisa here with a brand new video. And today I will be talking about a topic that is relevant to an assignment I am doing in English right now. And it is an argumentative, essay, but can be in a genre you choose. It doesn't have to be in essay format. So I'm choosing to do it as a video because I think that'll help me be able to convey my points, and I just prefer videos over writing. So, let's get started. As you can probably tell by the title, what I will be arguing, or what I chose as my topic for this assignment, was that I'm going to argue that marching band is in fact a sport, and people who say otherwise are stupid. And here's why I say this. The definition of a sport, when you look it up on Google, is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. And that is exactly what marching band is. From personal experience, for 4 years during the summer, we would spend hours and hours outside in really hot temperatures, sweating our butts off, working our butts off for an 8-minute show at the end of it. And we would do that after school as well. And quite honestly, there were some days it sucked, really bad. But it was quite honestly all worth it in the end when you got to perform and show off all your hard work. And marching, besides the hard work and the hot sun in the summer, just the physical activity you have to, there's a specific posture you need to have, because you need to be able to march without bouncing up and down while you're marching, because that would screw up your sound, the coming out of your instrument. And there's just a whole bunch of physical stuff you have to do. You have to have a strong core. You have to, when you're backwards marching, you have to be up on your toes. And sometimes you have to go really fast. And it's not that easy sometimes. It can be quite physically demanding. And personally, me and many other people have poured blood, sweat, and tears into marching band. Personally, I did not bleed as much. I cut myself a few times, but who doesn't? Tears, I cried after a competition. Definitely sweat a lot. But just everybody cares so much about this. And something else I can think of, people consider golf to be a sport, but most of the time you can just drive a little go-kart around your, I don't know, field, I guess it is, and you hit a ball and walk and hit it again and then walk again. If that is considered a sport, then marching band 100% can be considered a sport. It is a lot more physically demanding than you would think. It is hard. It's not easy. There were days I considered quitting or skipping practice because I just didn't feel physically able or up to the challenge. And it can be really tough some days. And it is 100% a sport when you compare it to something like golf. And people who argue that it's not, they're dumb. It is 100% a sport. And as an example, here is a short clip of the opener of our show from my sophomore year. I highlighted myself, and you can see how far and how fast we had to go to get to our spot in 16 counts. It is hard. It was hard to figure this out and get it timed correctly. And we are going super freaking fast. Me and everybody on that side of the field. We were on the freaking outside edge of the block, pretty much, you can see. And this is a good example of how hard this can be. So as you see from that clip, there can be times where you have to go a long distance in a short amount of time, and it can be hard. The big strides I was taking with my legs, I mean, generally in marching band, the shorter you are, the bigger your strides have to be, because you have to have a certain, like, step size. My strides or step size were so big. I'm doing this on my toes because it's backwards marching, and you have to. There's a whole thing with backwards marching that you can't let your heels touch the ground because you could fall over. That's a different story. But I'm on my toes, going long ass strides on my legs, super fast to get to a place in like 16 counts. It's things like this happen sometimes super often for certain people, and it is not easy. It is physically exerting more so than sports like golf. I just don't see how people can't think it's a sport. It is not easy. It is tough. You have to spend so much time learning how to march correctly. You have to learn how to play your instrument with the correct posture so you don't lose musicality on all the functions. Sometimes you have to hold up a heavy frickin' instrument, like sousaphones, drumline, baritones. Some people have really heavy instruments to hold. I mean, it's not always easy. There is a lot of strength you have to have in marching band that would 100% consider it, would make it a sport based on the definition read off earlier. And I mean, my marching band didn't do it because we had like 170, almost 180 people my senior year. But most high school bands compete. They compete against each other for entertainment. And we also did we went to one competition this year. We didn't do fantastic, but we went to one. But we just don't do it on a regular basis. And competitions exist. It was entertaining to watch fellow marching band kids perform, show off their hard work. People compete. We put physical work and exertion into it, and it's entertaining. Marching band can be pretty damn awesome. So I don't get why people don't think it's a sport. Generally, it is. It is. Like I've said in this, basically what I've explained in this video, the physical exertion, there's a lot of it. There are schools and bands that compete, and it's entertaining. People loved our show at halftime in football games. People loved it. It's entertaining. It's a sport. It is, and that's all I have to say. Based on the evidence I've brought up from personal experience, it's a sport, and I'm not willing to argue otherwise. So that would be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do consider subscribing for more content. That's very irregular, but I hope you enjoyed regardless, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.